Hey squad, welcome back. Now, as you know from my channel, I am a huge R&B fan and have been for most of my life. My favorite period of R&B would have to be the late 70s into the early 80s. However, during the 1990s, some incredibly talented artists emerged, one of whom is Brandy. Now, I remember walking into a record shop, which we used to do back in the early 90s. This was 1994, and I heard this incredible track playing through the speakers. It was a voice I'd never heard before, and it turned out to be the debut single of Brandy, I Wanna Be Down. Now, the tone of her voice and her delivery was something quite special. The other thing that was really interesting was the simplicity of the production, and that's what I want to look at today. I want to produce a little something in the vein of that track. Now, this is the vibe we'll be cooking up today. Now, of course, I won't be playing the track on my channel to avoid a copyright strike. However, there's a link in the description and I urge you to definitely check it out if you're not aware of the song. Now, remember, if I bring you value, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can even donate through Patreon if you so wish. But make sure you switch on that notification bell for when the next video drops. Anyway, enough talking, let's get into it. Okay, so whenever I'm going to emulate a style or a sound from a particular era, the first thing I think about is what sounds were available, what tools were available to the producers or the musicians at the time, what techniques were being used in terms of recording and producing the track. Now, of course, I was pretty active as a producer and musician during that period, so I'm pretty well aware that software instruments and software sampling and all of the luxuries that we have today, that was not available to the regular producer. It was hardware, physical keyboards, sound modules, samplers, and we had to be very disciplined in how we managed what we were recording. Okay, so to kick things off, we need to establish the tempo that we're going to be working to. So what I did previously was download the original track. I've analyzed it using Logic's BPM counter and it's come out as 86 BPM. So we're going to be working and grooving at the tempo of 86 BPM. I'm going to kick things off with this hi-hat pattern, and all I've done is opened up an instance of drummer. I've gone for neo soul and I've switched everything off besides the hi-hats. I've gone for option 3 in terms of the style. I've also gone to details. I've deselected the automatic open close option. I've made sure that there's a bit of swing here as well and positioned the dynamics control right here to about this position right here. By default, this was over here in the middle, but I've pushed it over here. So this is what we get. I want a really simple pattern with just slight variations. I could program it myself, but why not use the tools that are available to me? Now, the next thing I'm going to do before I put down the kick and snare, I'm going to put down the keyboard part, and that goes something like this. I'm now going to quantize that with a touch of swing, 1/16 swing C. Now I'm going to put down the kick and the snare. This time we're going to quantize this to 1/16 swing F. Check this out. Yeah. Next up is the bass line. Let's get that in and then move on. As you can see right here, my alchemy parameters are very, very simple. In fact, we've gone from the browser to advanced. I'm using a single waveform source, which is sine ARP right here. And all I've got going on, nothing else is switched on. I've set the voices to monophonic, a single voice. I set this parameter to re-trigger rather than always or legato. I've adjusted my filter settings, and down here I've just added a couple of effects to add a bit of some distortion so that the bass tone will not only be felt but will be heard as well. The bass tone will be quite low, so we want it to be heard on small devices like your mobile phone speaker or your small hi-fi in your home. Now, the other thing I've got on the bass channel is a distortion 2. We've also got this free tube saturator plugin. These are added to actually make your bass cut through. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn these off. So they do actually make a difference. The bass and the bottom end is still there, but we're getting some higher harmonics, which allows the tone to cut through. Anyway, let me get this bass line down and then we'll move on. Right, once again, let's mess with this quantize. Let's try quantizing at 1/16th F. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that's going to work. I'm going to go in and lengthen a couple of notes like this one, for example. One other thing I've got on the channel strip, which I forgot to tell you about, is I've got this velocity plugin right here. It's a MIDI plugin that you can slot in right here. And I've set the velocity to maximum. Now, no matter what velocity I use to hit my notes, I'll get a fixed velocity of 74. Okay, I can adjust this to whatever I like, but 74 works for me right here. All right, let's move on. Okay, so we're not going to overdo things today. We're just going to keep it nice and simple once again. We've got keys, we've got bass, we've got drums so far. I'm just going to add a simple pad, then a synth line, and I'll see what comes next. Maybe nothing, but for now, let's put down this pad section, which is in Alchemy. And the sound I'm going for is Colossus. I've switched off Source B, because I didn't want this metal drone sound. And this is the sound we're going for. Okay, so let me just put this down. It's going to be real simple, and then we'll move on. Yeah, that's sounding good. Real simple sound, single notes, and it's just adding that extra layer that I need to brighten things up a bit. Okay, so let's move on to that synth melody. Okay, so we're getting closer to wrapping this up. Now this synth lead sound I'm going to be putting down is generated from one of Logic's great retro synth patches. Lovely sound. I've done a few little modifications there just to give me the sort of tone I'm looking for. But yeah, let's put down this melody on top of what we've got. Again, trying to stay in line with the simplicity of the groove and the kind of vibe that would have been created at that period of time. So let's put it down. Okay, so to close things out, I like to put a little bit of guitar on. I'm trying to get my playing skills up. I'm still having trouble with the plectrum with the pick because I'm a bass player. It's such a strange action trying to use the pick. So for today, I'm not even going to bother with the pick. I'm just going to use my thumb. I hope you enjoyed the production so far. It's real simple, just a few simple elements to create a very minimalist groove for the vocals to do their magic. So to close out, I'm just going to do a bit of picking on the guitar just to jam this out. Done a very basic arrangement and hopefully you enjoy it. Don't forget to like the video as well if you found value in it, and stay tuned for more coming real soon. Until next time, I'm Deuce. Peace.